The Capcom team behind the Devil May Cry series demonstrated their understanding of what makes a solid action game through the series' most recent release, Devil May Cry 5. But what are the individual factors of that winning formula, and how do they all come together to create a memorable experience? That's what the Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma director Hideaki Itsuno, along with senior producer Mikitaro Okabe and producer Matt Walker, aim to explain to fellow game developers in their GD 2019 talk, Devil May Cry 5, creating a standout action game, using that latest game as an example of try and two techniques. The three offer a look at the team's development process, walking through how they work backward from player experience to create compelling and memorable gameplay. In addition to this presentation, THEGDC Vault and its accompanying YouTube channel offers numerous other free videos, audio recordings, and slides from many of the recent game developers conference events. And the service offers even more members-only content for DD Vault subscribers. Those who purchased all access passes to recent events, like DD Vault, already have full access to DD Vault, and interested parties can apply for the individual subscription via the DD Vault subscription page. Group subscriptions are also available. Game-related schools and development studios who sign up for DD Vault Studio subscriptions can receive access for their entire office, accompanied by contacting staff via THEGDC Vault Group subscription page. Finally, current subscribers with access issues can contact DD Vault technical support. Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Here are just some of the many positions being advertised right now. If you are a recruiter looking for talent, you can also post jobs here. Location: Tokyo, Japan. The Advanced Technology Division is the research development department of Square Enix Japan, bringing together experts from the fields of rendering, animation, physics simulation, artificial intelligence, networking, big data, workflow, mixed reality, AR, and sound. We not only research state-of-the-art of game technology, but also contribute to many productions. We are seeking motivated and experienced artists, programmers and technical artists to work with us in Tokyo on our next projects and push the boundaries in content creation. Location: Redwood City, California. Crystal Dynamics is looking for a talented software engineer to maintain and extend our world-class proprietary tools and pipelines. The ideal candidate would have solid large-scale software engineering skills, a proven track record of designing and implementing complex tools and pipelines, a strong desire to architect solutions and maintain systems within AAA development teams. This position requires the ability and willingness to design and fully implement complex tools, both as an individual contributor and with the help of a small team. Location: Seattle, Washington. We are looking for a full-time gameplay engineer to work on our upcoming session-based multiplayer FPS Dual Process. Dual Process is an adversarial SWAT shooter that delivers on planning and coordination. Each round, 2 teams of 5 confront each other in an attack-defend mission on a procedurally generated level. Before action, each team draws out a plan of attack or defense using SWAT equipment, such as breaching charges, flashbangs, ballistic shields, and night vision goggles. Location: Los Angeles, California. If you are an incredibly capable level designer, with ample spatial reasoning skills, a strong sense of storytelling and pacing, and an artistic eye for great compositions, please reach out to us. We are looking for talented, passionate people to become part of our small crew, to help build and shape something ambitious and completely unique. Although we work incredibly hard, our studio is not a crunch factory. We like to live our lives, have holidays, and remain healthy throughout a project. Work-life balance is important. Location: Beverly Hills, California. The technical manager is responsible for managing the technical execution of DAMC's portfolio of interactive entertainment properties, with specific focus on location-based entertainment. You will work closely with internal stakeholders to help shepherd the successful planning, design, and execution of engaging interactive entertainment. Fitting procedurally generated elements into an RPG means walking a tightrope, careful balancing and tuning, a task that's made even more challenging when the RPG in question is as nuanced and complex as BattleTech. It makes sense, then, that lead designer Keith Magin and the team at Harebrained Schemes attacked generating content for the recently released strategic minor league. Complicated way. Procedurally generated missions were not actually a core part of the BattleTech game Harebrained pitched on Kickstarter. They were one of the stretch goals, and when the campaign raised enough money to merit their inclusion, the team had to decide how best to incorporate them into a handcrafted strategy game with a core storyline. Gamasutra recently reached out to Magin to hear more about how she and her compatriots implemented a procedurally generated mission system that can reliably present players with a believable setup, and, perhaps more importantly, an interesting challenge. Her answers were so fascinating and so detailed that we thought you might enjoy reading them for yourself. Info below. How are the game side missions designed generated? How much of the content in them is set, and how much is procedural? Imagine, the procedural missions are built out of 3 layers. At the bottom layer is the map itself. Maps are hand-created by the designer, using assets created for us by the environment art team, and tools built by our technical art team. Then the environment artists go back over the map and polish it, adding details, filling out areas, sticking rocks all over everything, and so forth. The maps are intended to be large enough that we can stage several encounters on a map without you realizing it's the same place. And there are some additional mechanics that allow us to switch what structures, facilities, roles, and so forth are on the map on a per encounter basis. The middle layer is the encounter. It's a generic, flavor-free mission, one of 8 types. We have tried to capture what we think are the most common scenarios in a BattleTech context: a straight-up battle, a convoy ambush, a targeted assassination, and so forth. All the logic and scripting that makes an encounter work is embedded in the generic version. Designers then use the Unity prefix system to stick copies of the encounter and all its fiddly bits onto the maps. We move spawn points around, drag patrol paths into place, and generally get the encounter properly set up for the terrain it's going to be on. The final layer is the contract. A contract contains all the flavor bits that are not part of the raw mechanics of the encounter. So if you are blowing up a warehouse full of weapons, that information is in the contract layer. The encounter just knows this is a mission where you are going to destroy a base. It's the contract that supplies the text to describe it as a weapons warehouse. Contracts are aware of the encounter they are written for, so they map directly onto all the mechanics of the specific encounter. That is, if the encounter calls for 2 groups of enemies to spawn, the contract must specify what's in those 2 groups. The nice thing is, while mentioned encounters are all part of the Unity scenes, the contracts are a JSON layer over the top of that, so they can be built and edited in a text editor. On top of that, I wrote a simple markup language to make contract creation even simpler, and that markup is parsed into the actual JSON the game uses, so we can rapidly create and iterate contracts.